Like the video if you think you've seen everything true crime has to offer, then stay with this one, because tonight's case begins where most stories end, with the last witness already dead. Rain hammered the streets of Portland as flashing blue lights painted the alley in broken shards of color. Detective Lena Hart pushed through the crowd of officers, her boots sinking into water mixed with something darker. A man lay slumped against a brick wall, his phone shattered beside him, his eyes frozen open as if he had died trying to speak. His name was Daniel Mercer, a quiet accountant with no criminal record, no known enemies, and one terrifying connection. He was the final person alive who had seen what happened the night investigative journalist Claire Holloway disappeared. The city had obsessed over Claire's case for weeks. She was known for exposing corruption, digging where others were too afraid to look. Then, one night, she vanished after leaving a downtown cafe, leaving behind only her car and a folder of missing documents. Witnesses were scarce, but Daniel had come forward quietly, asking for police protection. He claimed he saw someone force Claire into a black SUV. Before detectives could get a full statement, he changed his mind, saying he wasn't sure anymore. Now he was dead. Lena studied the scene, feeling the familiar knot in her stomach. Her partner, Marcus Hale, handed her a plastic evidence bag containing Daniel's wallet. "No robbery," he muttered. "Phone wiped clean. Someone wanted silence." The investigation tightened around 3 names. Claire's editor, who insisted she was chasing a story bigger than politics. A wealthy developer whose company had been under scrutiny. And a former police informant who vanished the same night Claire did. Every lead felt slippery, each answer leading to another dead end. Back at the precinct, Lena replayed surveillance footage from the alley. A shadow moved near Daniel moments before his death, face hidden beneath a hood. But something caught her eye. The figure hesitated, almost as if waiting for Daniel to say something that never came. Hours later, forensic analyst Nora Pike rushed in with fresh evidence. Daniel's phone hadn't been empty after all. Deep within corrupted files was a single audio recording, less than 10 seconds long. Static crackled, a panicked breath filled the speaker, and then a woman's voice whispered one phrase. "They know I talked, don't trust." The recording cut off. Lena felt the air leave the room. The voice wasn't Claire's. And when they traced the file's creation date, they realized it had been recorded just 30 minutes before Daniel was killed, inside an address already flagged in the investigation. But when they forced open the locked basement door of that building, what they found changed everything. The basement smelled like damp concrete and old secrets. Detective Lena Hart's flashlight cut through the darkness, revealing metal shelves, discarded furniture, and, in the center of the room, a single chair bolted to the floor. Thick cables snaked across the ground toward recording equipment that looked hastily abandoned. Someone had been watching, listening, documenting something. Or someone. Marcus Hale knelt beside a cracked monitor. "No bodies," he said quietly, almost disappointed. But this wasn't storage. On the wall, Lena found photographs pinned in neat rows. Claire Holloway's face appeared again and again, outside her apartment, entering a cafe, walking alone at night. But the pictures didn't stop with Claire. Daniel Mercer was there too. So was someone else Lena recognized immediately. Assistant District Attorney Rowan Blake, a rising legal star known for his spotless reputation and public crusade against organized crime. The room wasn't just a surveillance hideout. It was a map of connections. Forensic teams swept the basement while Lena replayed the audio recording in her mind. The voice saying, "They know I talked, don't trust." That fear felt real. Desperate. The kind of fear people felt right before disappearing. The next morning, the case exploded across national headlines. News outlets framed Daniel as a tragic witness silenced before he could testify. Claire's disappearance transformed from a missing person case into a potential conspiracy. Public pressure mounted, and with it, political interference. Lena's captain warned her to be careful. "You're pulling threads tied to people who don't like being exposed." Then came the second shock. Rowan Blake failed to appear at work. His apartment door stood open when officers arrived. Inside, it looked untouched, except for a coffee cup still warm on the counter and a laptop wiped clean. No signs of struggle, no note, just another person swallowed by silence. Lena felt the case tightening like a noose. As investigators retraced Blake's movements, Marcus discovered something buried in financial records. Massive payments routed through shell companies linked to the developer Claire had been investigating. The timing matched perfectly with Claire's disappearance. Someone had been paying for information, or for loyalty. That evening, Lena received an anonymous envelope slid under her apartment door. Inside was a photograph taken only hours earlier. It showed her standing outside the precinct, unaware she was being watched. Scrawled across the back were 3 words. "Stop digging. Last warning." Fear crept into her chest, but anger quickly replaced it. Whoever was behind this wasn't just covering up a crime, they were controlling the narrative, eliminating anyone who got close. Late that night, Nora Pike called with a breakthrough. The mysterious voice from the recording had been matched to a missing persons report filed 6 months earlier. The woman's name was Amelia Grant, a former data analyst who had worked briefly for the same developer Claire was investigating. But Amelia was officially declared dead. And according to records, she had died in an accident that never actually happened. As Lena stared at the evidence board, her phone buzzed with a single message from an unknown number. "She's alive. And they're coming for you next." Detective Lena Hart didn't sleep. The message replayed in her mind like a ticking clock. "She's alive. And they're coming for you next." It wasn't just a threat. It was confirmation. Amelia Grant, officially dead in a fabricated accident, had been silenced before. Now someone was warning Lena she was next in line. By sunrise, Lena and Marcus were digging into Amelia's past. Amelia had been a data analyst contracted through a third-party firm that handled financial compliance for the powerful real estate developer Claire Holloway had been investigating. On paper, Amelia resigned months before her fatal car crash. But insurance reports revealed something chilling. No autopsy photos, no public funeral, sealed medical records. It was a death without proof. Marcus leaned back in his chair. If she faked her death, someone helped her. And if she didn't, someone covered up a murder. Before they could go further, chaos erupted at the precinct. News broke that Rowan Blake's car had been found abandoned near the state line, engine still warm. Inside the trunk was a single item: Claire Holloway's missing folder of investigative documents. The contents were explosive. Financial transfers, encrypted emails, and a detailed timeline outlining a network of bribery and intimidation tied directly to the developer's company. But what stopped Lena cold was a handwritten note clipped to the top page. "If anything happens to me, trust Amelia." Claire had known. As federal authorities began circling the case, Lena received a call from a blocked number. The voice on the other end was shaky, breathless. "My name is Amelia Grant," the woman whispered. "I don't have much time." Lena froze, signaling Marcus to trace the call. "They made me manipulate data," Amelia continued. "Shell companies. Payments to silence witnesses. When Claire got close, they panicked. Daniel wasn't supposed to die, he just wouldn't stay quiet." "Where are you?" Lena asked. "Safe for now. But Rowan isn't missing. He's running. And he's not the mastermind." The line crackled. In the background, a car door slammed. Amelia's breathing quickened. "They're tracking this call," she said. "You need to look at the board members. The developer answers to someone else. Someone you trust." The call dropped. Seconds later, Marcus swore under his breath. Trace bounced through 3 states. Disposable device. Then Lena's phone lit up again, this time with a live video link sent from an unregistered account. She hesitated only a moment before opening it. The screen showed a dim warehouse interior. Bound to a chair under a single hanging bulb was Rowan Blake, bruised but alive. A masked figure stepped into frame, holding up a phone displaying today's date. A distorted voice spoke directly to the camera. "You're chasing the wrong suspect, detective." The last witness never spoke, because she knows who really controls this city. The video ended with the sound of a gunshot echoing in the dark. And then silence. The gunshot echoed in Lena's mind long after the video cut to black. Within minutes, every available unit was deployed, Tracing the warehouse location from faint audio clues and metadata fragments Nora managed to extract before the link self-destructed. It led them to an abandoned shipping facility on the outskirts of the city, a maze of steel containers and hollow silence. Lena moved in with tactical officers, heart pounding but mind razor sharp. Inside the warehouse, the hanging bulb still swayed. Rowan Blake sat slumped in the chair exactly as shown in the video, alive. The gunshot had been staged. A blank round, fired inches from his head to sell the illusion. Rowan's eyes were wild. "I didn't kill anyone," he gasped. "You have to believe me." "Then talk," Lena said coldly. "Who's controlling this?" Rowan hesitated, the same hesitation caught in the alley footage near Daniel's body. "Fear. Not guilt. It's the board," he whispered. "Not just the developer. Investors. Donors. People with influence at every level." Claire found proof they were laundering money through city redevelopment projects. Amelia discovered the digital trail. Daniel overheard a meeting and panicked. "I tried to protect myself, but once Claire disappeared, I knew I was expendable." Marcus stepped forward. "Names." Rowan swallowed hard. "You won't arrest them. You can't." But he started listing them anyway. Within hours, federal warrants rolled out. Financial servers were seized. Shell corporations unraveled. The developer was taken into custody at his downtown office, blindsided and furious. Several board members attempted to flee the country and were stopped at private terminals. And then, just before dawn, Lena received one final message. A secure email. No sender name. Only an attachment. Inside was a video recorded in a dimly lit room. Amelia Grant sat facing the camera. Alive. Unharmed. "They told the world I was dead," she said calmly. "I agreed to disappear so I could gather everything. Claire trusted me. Daniel tried to warn them. Rowan was scared, but he wasn't in charge." She leaned closer to the camera. "The last witness never spoke publicly because silence kept me alive long enough to expose them." The screen faded to black. Weeks later, arrests turned into indictments. The story dominated international headlines. Claire Holloway's investigation was published posthumously, her name cleared of every rumor. But one question lingered. Amelia Grant was never found. Her video had been uploaded from a location impossible to trace. No further contact. No sightings. No body. Detective Lena Hart kept the final frame of Amelia's video pinned to her board. A reminder that sometimes the most powerful testimony isn't spoken in a courtroom. Sometimes, survival is the only statement that matters. If you think this story was intense, you're not ready for the next one. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it.